about LAN technologies. In previous class, introduction to switching is done. So switch is layer 2 device. It maintains MAC table. Based upon MAC table information, switch can functioning. Like if destination device MAC address is not available, ARP will come in the picture and doing broadcast. So that broadcast will go to all ports in the switch. If destination device MAC address is available in MAC table, then unicast. Based upon that MAC table information, switch can do unicast communication. Correct? So these switches are two types, manageable, unmanageable. Managed switch, we can manage the traffic. Users traffic we can manage. We can minimize the broadcast. We can configure IP address. Configurations can be made actually. Simple. By seeing console port, we can get to know so this device is managed or unmanaged. And switch categories like layer 2 switches and layer 3 switches. The layer 2 switch can function only layer 2 functioning like MAC address only. Whereas layer 3 switches can act like a router and switch, which is distribution and core layer switches. By seeing the series model numbers, we can identify it is layer 2 or layer 3. And basic configurations are given the switch, how to assign IP address. So let's understand more detail about switch. Example is a 24 port switch. Point is, by default, all ports are in virtual LAN. Virtual LAN 1, we call VLAN 1. All ports, all 24 ports, the part of, in the member of VLAN 1. Port number 1, port number 2, port number 3, port number 4, 5, 6. All 24 ports, the member of VLAN 1. Now I got connected one device to port number 1, port number 2. So few devices I connected actually. Consider first 3 devices as belongs to one of the department in your company, like a sales department. Next 3 devices belongs to HR department. But point is, sales department computers are connected to which port numbers? 1, 2, 3
1, 2,
ports.
3,
HR department devices are connected to which port numbers?
6, 7, 8.
6, 7, 8.
Yeah. But what you need to understand here, all ports 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, all 24 ports by default in the member of which VLAN? VLAN 1.
VLAN 1.
So VLAN 1 is a single broadcast domain. Example, sales user is trying to communicate with the sales device only. They are sending a data traffic to one device to another device in the same department. If the second PC device MAC address, if it is not available in MAC table, then what type of communication will start in switch? The second device MAC address, if it is not available in MAC table, then what type of communication?
Yes.
Unicast or broadcast?
Broadcast.
Broadcast will go to how many ports?
Ports.
All 24.
All 24 ports. Because all 24 ports is belongs to one domain, one VLAN. Actually, which department is trying to communicate? Sales and sales, right? Sales to sales, sales PC to sales PC. But broadcast is unwantedly broadcast is going to which department? HR department and rest of the ports also. So this switch 1, if it is connected to switch 2, connected to switch 3, connected to multiple switches, the same broadcast packet will go for all ports actually, all switches. A huge broadcast domain. So these broadcasts may impact in your network performance. And what exactly these sales devices are trying to exchange the data that can be monitored from any one of the device you connected, because you are getting one packet, one broadcast packet. So using some tools, you can capture that packet and you can open it, you can get to know what they are exchanging actually. Not secured, more broadcast. So the broadcast will impact on your network performance. So this is we need to manage. How to manage? We need to implement VLAN concept actually, VLAN mechanism. So how it works is, say, this is switch 1. First PC source, third one is the destination. If destination device MAC address is not available in MAC table, what type of communication? Broadcast. Broadcast to how many ports? All 24 ports. So means switch, entire switch is a single broadcast domain. Point is now switch A connected, switch 1 is connected to switch 2. Now how many broadcast domains in this picture? Number of broadcast domains in this picture.
One on switch 2.
So switches are two switches, I agree. Now I have connected one uplink from switch 1 to switch 2, but I'm asking about broadcast will happen to how many ports?
48.
Means physically there might be two switches, but broadcast wise both belongs to one domain. Agree? Because that broadcast packet is coming to port number switch to all 24 ports also. So now both are belongs to a single broadcast domain. I've connected switch 3 also. There is one uplink. Now total how many broadcast domains in this picture?
22. One broadcast.
Single broadcast domain. So physically there might be three switches, but they are interlinked. Then broadcast will happen to all 72 ports. So broadcast size is increased. Broadcast size is 72 ports. If there is no link between switch 1 to switch 2, switch 2 to switch 3, if there is no interlink, then how many broadcast domains? Three domains. Switch A, switch 1 is one domain, 2 is separate, 3 is separate. There is no interlink. Agree? But once you interlink all switches, it's a single broadcast domain. So what is the size of the single broadcast domain now? 72 ports. From any one port, if broadcast is generated, now all 72 ports are impacting. So to minimize this broadcast and to provide secure access for department wise, we need to segregate, we need to divide a single VLAN into multiple VLANs. For each department, logically, virtually, let us create some VLANs actually. Virtual LAN. Sales department, your computers are 1, 2, 3 ports. So I'm making for 1, 2, 3 ports as one VLAN, that VLAN number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, any number you can use. VLAN 1 is the default. My example, VLAN 10. Similarly, HR department, your computers are in 6, 7, 8 ports. Right? HR department, your computers are in 6, 7, 8 ports. So I created a separate domain, which is VLAN 20. Then what are the advantage of these VLANs? After creating VLANs, after dividing one VLAN into multiple VLANs, what is the advantage? Now again, same scenario. First sales department, first user trying to communicate with second user. Data packet is generated. Destination device, MAC address is not available in MAC table. What type of communication? Broadcast. Okay, but broadcast is generated from which port? Broadcast is initiated, initiated from which port?
Port 1.
Port
Source.
1, yeah, port 1 is belongs to which VLAN?
VLAN 10.
Then broadcast will happen only VLAN 10 ports. Now this data packet will go to port number 2, port number 3, that's all. Even switch 1 connected to 2, 2 connected to 3, 3 connected to hundreds of switches, now broadcast will happen only 1 to 3 ports. If hundreds of switches are interlinked, your broadcast size is thousands of ports, right? But once you create VLANs, then broadcast size is what now? Just 3 ports. If broadcast happening only within a VLAN 10, then any one user can monitor what sales are exchanging? No. Secured access. So you want to provide secure access for department wise in local network. The best mechanism is what? Make them into separate VLANs. So VLANs provides layer 2 security. And broadcast size is minimized. If broadcast size is minimized, then obviously your network performance is improved. There is no impact in other departments actually. So what are the operations is happening in sales department? In within a sales department only that will happen. There is no impact in HR department. Agree? So as per your understanding, tell me what are the advantages of VLANs?
More
Yes, please.
secure.
Reduce the broadcast traffics and
Reduce
provide
the
security.
broadcast, providing security. That's all. Simple 2 points. These are major 2 points. VLANs provides layer 2 security and minimizing the broadcast. So you know already if broadcast is minimized, so what advantage we can get? Your obviously your performance, your sales department performance will be improved when there is no impact in other departments. Ready? So sections wise, projects wise, great. You know what exactly how exactly happening in real networks is these are hundreds of switches are interconnected. Hundreds of switches are interlinked. And all devices are connected. Now what network admin will do? Network admin will contact to each department. Sales department, manager, how many devices are you using? Your devices are connected to which switch and which port numbers? Make a list and give me. HR department. So how many devices do you have? On which switches? Do you have some switches in 1? Do you have some switches in 2, 3? And tell me the port numbers. Get me the port numbers. Like we need to collect complete information and create VLANs for each department. Then secure access. I'll give one general example. This is a brand new hard disk. Says 1 TB hard disk. In 1 TB hard disk, you have installed operating system. The latest Win11 OS you have installed. In the 1 TB hard disk, you have copied some Office files. In 1 TB hard disk, you have copied some personal files. And the same in hard disk, you're downloading some files from internet and copied here. So one of the file got malware that has been copied here, infected. Now what files will impact now? Your Office files will corrupt, your personal files will corrupt, your OS will corrupt, right? Because of one file actually. But generally what we do, this 1 TB hard disk, what we do?
Partitions.
Can we do physically partitions? Can we break them into smaller parts? One part I can use for OS like that. Physically is possible.
Yes, but it will not work.
Okay. So what we do? We partition logically. You're breaking into smaller parts. This is for C drive. This is a D drive. This is a E drive, F drive. A partition. Now C drive is dedicated for softwares, operating system. D drive for Office files, personal files, your common files. Now there is one file corrupted on your F drive. So F drive only will impact. We just format the F drive, that's it. But remaining all are keep safe, right? Mostly similarly, your VLANs are also like that. Like sales department, HR department, different departments works. So functionality is different. So there is one department connected. There is a testing department actually. They tested with the softwares. So they're functioning with the malware actually. The malware testing. If something missed, then will impact an entire corporate network actually. Then what we do? Oh, testing department. You want to test the software, right? A malware you are testing with the malware. Then I'll do one thing. How many computers do you need? You need 10 computers? Tell me what ports you're connected. 1 to 10 ports. So I'll secure it. 1 to 10 ports and make them into one VLAN. Now you can start your testing. If your testing is fail also, no problem because the traffic will not come to other department or other ports. Only 10 ports will impact actually. Getting my point? So is the major advantage of VLANs. Divides a single broadcast domain into multiple broadcast domains. VLANs groups interfaces to create smaller broadcast domain. It provides layer 2 security. By default, all ports the part of VLAN 1. That VLAN 1 known as administrative VLAN or management VLAN. VLAN 1 is management. You want to manage the switch, your device is a part of VLAN 1 only. VLAN 1 is management VLAN or administrative VLAN. So VLANs can create from 2, 3, 4 up to 1001 VLANs we can create actually. The VLAN information is VLAN, all the VLANs information will be stored in VLAN.dat file in flash memory. I'll show you how to create VLANs and how to implement ports onto the VLANs. Bhargav, are you following me, Bhargav? Bhargav Verma.
Yes, sir.
It's clear, right? VLANs concept?
Yes, sir. It's clear.
Okay. Aishwarya?
Yes, it's clear.
Okay. Krishna? Fahim?
Yes, bro.
Yeah, it's clear.
Jaideep? Naresh? Pramod?
That is clear.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Pranav? Ravish?
Clear, sir.
Clear, sir.
Sam is following regularly. So they're also. Okay. Sumant? Yeah.
Yeah, it's clear.
Good. Because this is completely as a network support engineer or network engineer, mostly 80% we work with the VLANs only. Once you joined as a network engineer in any company, your first task may be creating a VLANs. Because one new network is establishing, so you take a collect of list of departments, make them into different VLANs actually. So better you practice more on VLANs. If you have any confusions or any doubts, please ask me now. No problem. Even if it is simple or silly doubt also, don't hesitate. Please ask.
Sir, I over here, in the conversations they call SVIs. Is VLAN and SVI are both same or different?
Same. Sway is nothing but switch virtual interface. VLAN itself is a virtual interface.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. But simple logic is here. VLAN is one partition, right? This VLAN 10 is one small partition, small broadcast domain. This is one domain. We can make this VLAN as a one interface also. Normally we have in router, we have a ports, fast Ethernet port. So this is one physical interface. What about in switch? In switch, we connected all devices for physical ports, right? Then how can manage VLAN 10? So VLAN 10, we required one IP address. So means VLAN 10 should be interface. That interface we call SVI, switch virtual interface. VLAN is domain, broadcast domain.
Okay.
Okay.
Sir, we can make in only one switch in one VLAN, sir. Combinedly 3 we can make in one.
Yes, 3. Default itself, one switch is one VLAN only. VLAN 1.
It has any limits, sir? For
24 ports. If you
VLAN.
want to add ports here, no limit. Any ports, number of ports we can add.
Yeah, okay, sir.
VLAN can be created from 2 to 1001 only.
It depends upon the model number. If you go for some layer 3 switches, like up to 4000 plus VLANs we can create.
Yeah.
Right. See, same diagram I have. The left side switch, this is switch A, and first 3 computers which are in red zone, consider this a sales department. The last 3 pieces which are in blue zone, consider this a HR department. I'm keeping 2 computers as default VLAN 1 to manage the switch because VLAN 1 is a management VLAN. So I'm keeping 2 pieces in VLAN 1. Let us create now VLANs. Before creating, if we check status, show VLAN brief command, VLAN 1 is default VLAN. In default VLAN, what are the ports? Ports are 1 to 24. All ports in the part of VLAN 1 now. So VLAN 1 is a single broadcast domain. From any port broadcast is generated is impacting to all 24 ports. To minimize that, we are dividing different VLANs. So first we need to create VLANs. Config terminal, VLAN 10, name, sales. VLAN 20, name, HR. Done. So VLANs are created. Just VLAN IDs are created actually. Show VLAN brief. VLAN 10 sales, VLAN 20 HR is created. But now we need to implement the ports. As per our diagram, sales department computers are connected to which port numbers? 1, 2, 3 port numbers. So 1, 2, 3 port numbers by default are in which VLAN? VLAN 1. So these 1, 2, 3 ports we need to implement to which VLAN? VLAN 10. Similarly, 6, 7, 8 ports. 6, 7, 8 ports is also by default in VLAN 10. 6, 7, 8 ports we need to implement into VLAN 20. Like this. Config mode, interface, fast Ethernet, 0/1, port number 1. Switch port mode, access, I'm making the port number 1 is access port. Switch port, which is port number 1. Switch port access, VLAN 10. So port number 1 should be in VLAN 10. Exit. Same. Interface, fast Ethernet port number 2, switch port mode access, switch port access VLAN number 10. Port number 3, mode access VLAN 10. Okay.
So for each interface, we have to configure the mode of access and VLAN 10 and exit we have to do for each every interface 0/1, 0/2, 0/3.
Right. So for sales department, what are the ports we need to implement on VLAN 20? No, for HR department, sorry. For HR department, what ports we need to implement to VLAN 20?
6, 7,
7,
8.
8.
So when there is requirement to implement multiple ports, then you can use this interface range fast Ethernet 0/6-7 6-8 you can use. Means 678 or 6 to 10 or 6 to 20. Like a range you can use actually. Oh, sorry. So interface range fast Ethernet 6 to 8. Now if you use switchport mode access will be applicable on 618 ports. Switchport mode access VLAN 20. So 678 ports are implemented to VLAN 20. Like each port, invisible ports we can do like that, or multiple ports also we can do like this actually, by using range command. Okay.
So before 0/3, we are using VLAN 10, and here we are after range fast Ethernet, we are using VLAN 20. How can we differentiate? We can find out here. We have to use VLAN 10 and over here VLAN 20.
Say as per our diagram, sales department devices are connected to 1, 2, 3 ports. So 1, 2, 3 ports should be in VLAN 10.
Okay,
6,
okay,
7, 8 ports are connected to HR department. So
okay,
6, 7, 8 ports should be in VLAN 20. That is
okay.
our design now.
Oh, okay, sir. Got it.
Even rename it to like a VLAN 5 or something like that, right? Except VLAN 1.
Yeah, any numbers you can use. 2001 VLANs. Any
Okay.
number between any number you can use.
And VLAN 1 will be the administrative VLAN.
It's the default.
Okay.
Yes, administrative VLAN. Now back to privilege mode. Now if we check show VLAN brief, you can see VLAN 10 sales 1, 2, 3 ports in part of VLAN 10. VLAN 20 HR 6, 7, 8 ports are VLAN. So how many broadcast domains in this switch right now?
So VLAN 20 and the default one.
Excellent. Three broadcast domains. VLAN 1 is one domain, VLAN 10 is another, VLAN 20 is another. If traffic will generate from port number 6, that traffic will broadcast to which ports?
7, 8 only.
7, 8 only. If traffic generated in port number 9, then the broadcast will go to how many ports? Rest of remaining all VLAN 1 ports, right? Yeah. But before creating and implementing VLANs, and all ports in the part of VLAN 1. If port number 6 port number 6 HR department is connected, if port number traffic is generated impacting to all. So to minimize the broadcast and to provide secure access, we created VLAN section. Clear? Any doubts? So today your task is take two switches like this, same this diagram. Name it as switch A, left side. Name it as switch B, in right side. Create same VLAN. VLAN 10 cells, VLAN 20 HR, two PCs and VLAN 1. In switch B also, VLAN 10 cells, VLAN 20, and implement the ports. So this is your task action. Yes, please. So it's all about for today. Still, if you have any doubts in the VLANs, please ask. I'm giving the time because
Hello.
of VLAN only.
Hello.
Yes, please.
Yeah. What if I have added a wrong device into a VLAN, and what if I want to remove that VLAN from that?
How
Sorry,
we are
what I want to do
implementing?
is
How we are implementing a VLAN? What are the commands we use?
interface.
Example: interface, port number, uh, 4. You wrongly implemented to VLAN 30. Okay. VLAN 30 is not created, it's created actually. Okay, now see, port number 4 is wrongly implemented to VLAN 30. Actually, port number 4 should be VLAN, other VLAN. So how to revert it back? Simple. Two methods. Use no command. No switch port access VLAN 30. If is no command, then port number 4 will revert it to which VLAN default?
1.
VLAN 1. Or port number 4 you want implemented to correct VLAN, which is VLAN 10 example. And simple, you give port number 4 VLAN 10. Now port number 4 will switch to VLAN 10.
Okay.
Or no confusions, you want to make to select default VLAN 1 if is this command. Switch port access VLAN 1. So 4 will come to VLAN 1. Show VLAN 3. Port
If we
number
don't,
4.
if we don't, remove the port from the VLAN and we directly add a new VLAN, will it be part of both the interface will be part of both the VLANs?
A port will be the part of only one VLAN. A port cannot be a member of multiple VLANs.
So we can directly change the interface to a different
Interface.
VLAN without
Yes.
removing it.
Yes. Directly can change to and implement to correct VLAN. Yeah. Port number 4, switch port mode access VLAN 10. There is a part of VLAN 10 only. Later, sometime you implement to 20, then is a part of 20 only. A port cannot be a member of multiple VLANs.
Okay.
So remove VLANs, no VLAN 30. So here you have VLAN 30, right? Please show VLAN brief. VLAN 30 is removed. Tell me how to remove VLAN 10.
No
No
VLAN.
switch.
No VLAN 10. See, if I use this command, no VLAN 10 command, then VLAN ID will remove. What about your ports? 1, 2, 3 ports.
It will go to native VLAN, right?
It will not go to VLAN 1. It's still the part of VLAN 10. See, no VLAN 10. I just removed VLAN ID, correct? Show VLAN brief. No VLAN 10. But where is 1, 2, 3 ports? 1, 2, 3 ports are not showing. Please show run command. Port number 1, VLAN 10. Port number 2, VLAN 10. Port number 3, part of VLAN 10. config terminal, VLAN 10 if you, sorry, VLAN 10 you create it back. See, VLAN 10, 1, 2, 3, 4. No VLAN command is only to remove VLAN ID, not the ports. Ports, again, we need to revert it back to VLAN 1.
So when we delete VLAN 10, are if any PC is connected into those 3 ports, will they communicate?
Yes, they can communicate. Because no VLAN 10 is VLAN ID only removed. Still ports the part of VLAN 10. But if VLAN 10 is in multiple switches, then they don't communicate actually. That will impact. Only in local switch can communicate. If you're in different switches in same VLAN, they don't communicate.
Got it.
Switch will generate the messages. VLAN ID mismatch. No VLAN 10 in switch. But local switch, they can start actually. So don't use this method to remove VLAN 10. First, implement the ports, revert back to VLAN 10, then you remove VLAN IDs. You want to remove it, okay?
Got it.
I have another doubt.
Yes, please.
There's no chance of VLAN going down, right, as it's virtual LAN.
Yeah, no chance.
Okay.
Until we removed. Or if switch completely down, then VLANs will be down.
Got it. Yeah.
See, sales department devices, will they communicate each other? Yes, because they are in a same VLAN. Let us check communication. Sales PC to sales PC. Communication is successful. PC 2 to 3. Successful. PC 1 to 3. So within the same VLAN, all PCs can communicate. Similarly, HR department to HR department, successful communication. What about sales PC, HR PC, will they communicate?
No.
No, failed. Because this broadcast will come to only 1, 2, 3 ports. But this PC in a different VLAN, broadcast will not come. They don't communicate. So different VLANs, no communication, only same VLANs. Even VLAN 1 can communicate. From VLAN 1 PC also, no communication to VLAN 10. From VLAN 1, no communication to VLAN 20. All are different broadcast domains. Clear?
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, please.
Sorry.
The diagrams which you shown right now, the two switches, yesterday we configured, right? Same like that, we have take another one.
This one, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, correct. I will redesign quickly. Same like that, you can do it.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm using switch 2960, 1, 2, 2 switches. Consider the switch A. For switch A, computers 1, 2, 3 for sales. 4, 5 administrative. 6, 7, 8 HR. Here also 1, 2, 3 sales. admin, HR. Now connectivity. Choose automatic AV. 1 port, 2 port, port number 3, port number 4. Port numbers are very important. Okay. 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Like this. So to make differentiation, can use symbols here. Yeah, circles, rectangular. You can choose color, red color. Okay. This is outline option. Fill color. It's red one. Next. Yes. Blue. Again here blue. Like this. Now click on switch, CLI, enable config terminal, host name, switch A, VLAN 10, name, sales, VLAN 20, name HR. Now ports implementation. Interface, range, pass Ethernet 0/123, switch port mode access, switch port access VLAN number 10. Sorry. Interface range 6-space-8. Switch port mode access. Done. Same configuration B side also.
Okay.
Now assign IP addresses on all PCs in same network. You can start assigning IP address for end devices 192.168.20.1. Second PC 20.2, 20.3, 20.4, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8, 20.8. Like this. And first switch P start from 2.11. 13, 14, 15, 18. Like this. Now if we check communication from sales to sales, they should communicate successful. Like HR to HR, they should communicate. But when you check from sales to HR, they don't communicate. Sales to HR. Oh. .1, 20.8. It should not communicate. It's communicating. Why? See, actually 6, 7, 8 ports I need to implement on which VLAN?
VLAN 10.
VLAN
Suppose
20 actually, but
we
I have
supposed
wrongly
to do it on
printed
20.
as VLAN. Yeah, that is why they are communicating. So search port mode access. Let me write search port mode access. Search port access VLAN number 20. We check from sales to VLAN 10 to VLAN 20. Failed. Should not come. This is the task for today, okay? Yeah. Any more doubts?
Please send those comments.
Yeah, I have shared already.
So to do this, we have to give the IP address to all the computers, or
Yeah, better you give IP address to all computers
okay.
to check communication. So today we have done VLAN's concept in one switch. So Monday we'll see what if we have the same VLANs in multiple switches, how they can communicate. Because what happened, my organization today have only one switch. There are 4 departments. 1 to 10 ports are dedicated to sales. 11 to 15 configured for HR department. And 16 to 23 for IT department. Any left out ports here? Only one port, which is port number 24. That we need to keep for uplink purpose. So all ports are full now. After a few days, sales department manager required 3 more computers in sales department. Where we need to connect 3 computers. We have only one switch. And all 10 ports are connected, already 10 devices. I want to add 3 more devices to sales department. And HR department also required. There are 4 more devices need to be connected in HR department. Then what we need to do? Purchase one new switch. And 1, 2, 3 ports connected to sales. 4 to 8 HR department. Now existing sales department computers in switch 1, sales department newly added just 3 PCs in switch 2 should communicate actually. Okay, 2 switches okay. Like later sometime again we need to add some more devices. Then switch 3, switch 4. Like there will be multiple switches in different ports, in different switches. Getting my point?
Yes.
Yeah. So we'll see that concept in next session. And even how to enable communication between different VLANs also. Basically, VLAN 10, VLAN 20, they won't communicate now. But still you want to enable communication. So we have some mechanisms actually. That's it. Thank you. See you on Monday. Have a good day.
Thank you, sir.
Sorry, actually you're asking something before.
No, that was my doubt, like how to communicate from one VLAN to another one. So we'll be
Okay.
discussing that. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
sure. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Bye.
Yeah, thank you, man.